Hi there everyone. I wanted to get on and do a quick video to make a birthday card, and this one is for a kid. So stamps that I'm using is Biggest Wish, which is one of the stamp sets from the annual catalogue. Oh, let me just adjust this slightly. I hope that's kind of sort of straight. I think it is. From the annual catalogue. So this card is using some designer series paper, which is the Just Kiddin designer series paper from the new mini, or from the mini catalogue. And what I want to share with you is that you can use the images from the paper and cut those out and just add a sentiment stamp. So this one is you also using Azure Afternoon ink and ribbon. So let me show you how this card comes together. I'm using the perennial postage dies, which are also from the mini catalogue, and they are just fabulous. I love those dies. Okay, so I do have my little bling rhinestones. I have got my Azure Afternoon ribbon. Don't need the envelope. I've got my die cut that I have done ahead of time. Plus I have got a piece of the designer series paper. So as you can see on the reverse of that one, that there are some lots of different images that you can cut out to create cute cards. I've got two pieces of basic white. So the white is measures 9.5 by 13.9, and the two Azure Afternoon are 10 centimeters by 14.4, which are my stock standard measurements that I use. And of course I've got my half sheet of A4, when this is the thicker cardstock, thicker white cardstock, which does hold which I do on my bases, it just holds the shape really well. So, and I have pre-scored that, so it is just a simple folding in half. The other thing I've done ahead of time as well is just cut out the little person. One of the things I love about the Just Kiddin designer series paper is all inclusive. So you have images where some of the children in the images have some special needs. So some of them might be in a wheelchair, or as this one has a prosthetic limb. So I really love the idea of this paper, and that the fact it is all inclusive, and all the images are really cute. Okay, so let's get started. For the inside, I am going to be just sticking my two pieces together, and I will be using Stamp and Seal for that. So very, very basic sticking. And that will center. And this one I'm going to be sticking straight onto into the inside of the card. Now, if you're using Stamp and Seal, please remember just that little tick to break the stream of adhesive. Okay, so this will go in, and then the inside is done. Now, of course, you could use a small strip of designer series paper, or you could cut out another one of the cute little images as well. Okay, so for my front piece, I'm going to be using a piece of this designer series paper, which is all from the same packet as I showed you earlier, that the reverse side has got a nice pattern, or you've got these cute images of all these kids. And they're all doing various activities. Some of them are cooking, some you've got some artwork happening. So you've got quite a good scope for this designer series paper. And I should have been a bit more organized and actually shared the paper with you as well. So I just have a small amount that I just need to trim up, and then I'm going to put my ribbon on. So this is going to be a really nice quick video. So I do have my Azure Afternoon ribbon, which this comes from the annual catalogue, and it comes with also Lolly Lemon and Bubble Bath as well. I have tied a reef knot, which is right over left and under, and left over right and under. And that is a knot that sits nice and flat, and the little tails go out nicely either side. To get where I'm going to have that, or to cut it, I'm going to hold the knot where I want it and draw the ribbon out to the side and then snip. And then that is going to go just on the front here. Now you can of course put some double-sided tape underneath your ribbon if you would like to, but sticky tape works just as well. Okay, and so there is my ribbon done. Now with this little bit extra that I've got here at the back, you can trim that off if you would like to. Okay, so I'm also going to trim these little tails of my ribbon up just to make those nice and neat. All right, so simple so far. Okay, so I'm going to continue sticking the card together. So my piece of Azure Afternoon, as I mentioned, this measures 10 centimeters by 14.4. Some Stampin' Seal on this and straight onto the card front. All right, there we go. And my second piece I'm going to be putting on with some dimensionals. And I've got the minis here, and I'm going to use the Take Your Pick tool just to help me pick up these dimensionals because they are a little bit small. But they do a fabulous job. And of course you can use the standard size. Dimensionals are dimensionals. The only difference between them is the size. And to get the backs off quickly, stab them with the piercing tool and flick them up. And then you just collect those all on the end of the tool. Last couple, there we go. And then this is going to be going straight onto my card front. There we go, quite easy. This design you can do over and over again in all sorts of different colours. I am making this a happy birthday card, so I do have my my postage stamp die cut ahead of time. And I've also got my stamps as well, which I did mount earlier today. Okay, so for this card, as you can see, I do have a stamping off, and this ink pad, I'll see how wet it is. I need some paper. I wonder if I've got any floating around here. Oh, I do. Okay, just going to grab my Stamp Up. And I do have my piercing mat or stamping mat, and I'm just going to ink up and see how, okay, this is pretty good. It's not too wet. So for my happy, which I'm going to be stamping first, there's the card there, I'm going to be stamping off on my scrap cardstock and then onto my die cut. So that is what they call second generation stamping. It's the same coloured ink pad, you're just changing the colour or the tone of the colour by stamping off. Let me just check. Okay, so that looks good too. And then birthday is going to go a little bit overlapping at the happy. And that's first generation stamping. So the more you stamp off, the lighter the shade. So you can get a darker blue and a lighter blue shade, or whichever colour, without necessarily buying multiple ink pads. You can do that just with the one. Okay, so I have used my stamping mat underneath me for this one, being photopolymer. So the next bit, I'm going to be putting my sentiment onto the card front using some dimensionals. And again, I am using the Take Your Pick tool. And I'm not going to put any over where the ribbon is sitting. So that is going to roughly center over that. So I've just put an extra couple of pieces of dimensional on here, and let me just stab into those and get rid of the tops of my dimensionals onto the card front. Almost done. My little person here is going to be going on with dimensionals as well and sitting over just that edge of the die. And again, Stampin' Dimensionals. I just want to make sure I'm going to be putting my dimensionals down the right side. Maybe one more. There we go. And of course, stabbing your dimensionals again to flick the tops off. And then you got your cute little person. And to finish off, I'm going to put on my rhinestones. Now these are the basic rhinestones. They're going to cost you for the whole packet about $10.50. So they are really a cost-effective embellishment to use. So a couple there, and with the putty end I'm just sliding my embellishment off. And there you have a really super quick, super easy children's birthday card. And as mentioned, this image comes from the Just Kiddin Designer Series paper, so there's lots of cute ones. You also get the wizard, and as I mentioned earlier, there are some children who are doing artwork and playing sport, and you've got fishing images. So there's lots and lots and lots of different images that you can use to create some really cute cards that don't necessarily take a great deal of effort and time to put together. So thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you've enjoyed seeing how I've made this card, and I hope you'll give it a try. Thanks so much. Bye.